Okay, welcome to your last lesson in Unit 6 of your theory course. We're going to talk about the dominant seventh chord. This is as complex as we're going to get with the chords and harmony. So essentially, let's have a quick read here. A seventh chord is when you build the interval of a seventh on top of a triad, making it into a four-note chord. So essentially, we're taking our snowman, our basic three-note chord, and we're adding a fourth note to it, an interval of a seventh above. Okay, seventh chords come in many different types, but to start with, we're dealing with the most important, the dominant seventh chord. Now you know what the word dominant means. Dominant means built on the fifth note of the scale, and a seventh chord means we have the triad plus this fourth note. The dominant seventh chord consists of the normal dominant major triad, like I just explained, your basic five chord, with the interval of a minor seventh built on top. So with this example right here, you can see clearly that we have our five chord. We're in the key of C major, so we're using an easy example. Our five chord is a triad built on the note G, G, B, D, or scale degrees 5, 7, and 2, right? That's your basic five chord. Over here, your dominant seventh is your basic five chord again, your triad, plus the interval of a seventh, a minor seventh, built on top of the root of the chord. The root of the chord, not the seventh note of the scale or the key signature, but the seventh note above the root of the chord. So here you have a G, a minor seventh above is F, F natural, or the kind of seventh interval that fits within the key signature. No accidentals, no nothing. Just follow the key signature. Add. It's basically like a four-ball snowman, if you want to think of it that way. Everything still follows the key signature. We're just using the seventh note above the root. So the rest of this worksheet really is just practice writing those dominant chords. All right, the first one's been done for you. You're going to use a key signature, write the tonic triad, the dominant triad, and the dominant seventh chord in each of the following keys. Label them with the chord symbols and Roman numerals below. The first one's been done for you, so let's have a look at this first one as an example. In the key of F major, you know that F major has the 1 B flat. So you're going to start with the 1 chord. As they said, the 1 chord is easy to do. The 5 chord is also easy to do. It's a triad built on the 5th note of the scale. In this case, scale degree 5 is C. And then build a 5-7 chord, or a dominant triad with the interval of a 7th above. Okay, in terms of Roman numerals, you're just going to put a 7 after the Roman numeral. And in terms of chord symbols, you're putting a little 7 right after the chord symbol itself, right after that capital C. Okay. The key signatures they're asking you to do them in are, of course, you've got G major, B flat major, E minor, D major, and D minor. Okay, now, one thing to be aware of, when you are working in these minor keys, all right, when you're working in the minor keys and you have to write you have to write dominant triads or dominant seventh chords, you're going to have to raise scale degree 7. All right, the reason is because, not all the time, but generally, the most common minor scale that is used is the harmonic minor scale. So assuming we are going to be in a harmonic minor scale, you raise that 7th note. In a dominant triad, here, you have a scale degree 7. Notice in the key of F major, here's your tonic, a 5 chord uses scale degree 7, this E natural, right? The same thing goes in minor keys. If you're in the key of E minor, right, your 5 chord is going to be built on the note B, and you're going to have scale degrees 5, and 7, and 2. Scale degree 7 right here on that D will have to get raised to a D sharp. Same thing for down here, D minor. In your dominant triad, wherever your dominant triad is, the middle note of that triad, or scale degree 7, will have to get raised. And that's the little point they're making at the bottom here. Because of the raised leading note in the harmonic minor scale, the dominant seventh is the same in both minor and major keys. You will notice that the regular 5 chord and 5-7 chord in D major are exactly the same notes in D minor. The 5 chord here is the same as the 5 chord here. The 5-7 chord, the dominant 7th chord here, is exactly the same as the dominant 7th chord here because of the raised leading note. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're working in these minor keys. Basically, write the 1 chord, the 5 chord, and the 5-7 chord for 5 different key signatures. Easy stuff, shouldn't be too hard. We're done everything we need to do for this upcoming theory test, so do a quick review of all these triad fantastic lessons, and we'll get ready for this theory test. See you next time.